Back to earth, and let's talk more about comparative and superlative adjectives. Let's start with talking about one-syllable comparative adjectives, like the word old. It's a one-syllable adjective, old. When we have such words, we just add an ER to their end to form the comparative form of it. And when we want to change it to the superlative form, we just add an EST to its end. So we get the following: old, older, the oldest. Another examples that apply the same rule: cheap, cheaper, the cheapest. High, higher, the highest. Now let's talk about one-syllable words but with consonant, vowel, consonant, like the word hot. H consonant, O vowel, T consonant. In such cases, I should double the final consonant before adding the ER and the EST. Hence, in the comparative form, I should have the word hotter written this way, with a double T, and then I add an ER to get the word hotter. And in the superlative form, I should also have double T's, and then I should add an EST in order to get the following: hot, hotter, the hottest. Another examples that apply the same rule: big, bigger with a double G, the biggest with a double G. Thin, thinner with a double N, and the thinnest with double N's. Now let's talk about two-syllable adjectives ending with a Y, like the word healthy. Let's count the syllables of the word healthy. Healthy. So yes, it's made up of two syllables and it ends with a Y. In such cases, I should remove the Y, okay, and replace it with an I, and then I should add an ER. And in the superlative form, I do the same thing regarding removing the Y. So I should remove it and replace it with an I, then I should add an EST in order to get the following: healthy, healthier, the healthiest. Let's read other examples that apply the same rule: happy, happier, the happiest. Noisy, noisier, the noisiest. Now let's talk about two or more syllable adjectives where we have to add more or most, then the adjective should be written. So let's start with the word famous. It's made up of two syllables, famous. So let's ask ourselves a question: can we say famouser? Does it sound familiar? Of course not. I have never heard someone using the word famouser. So instead of adding an ER to the word famous, which is not workable, I should keep the word famous as it is, but I should put more, or I should add the word more before the word or the adjective famous in order to get the comparative form of the adjective famous. Now, in order to get the superlative form of the adjective famous, I should also keep the word famous as it is, but I should write most before famous in order to get the most famous as a superlative form of the adjective famous. Another example that applies the same rule is changing the word generous to the comparative and the superlative form. Generous has three syllables. Generous. It's a really long word. So can we say generouser or generousest? No, that sounds really unfamiliar and long. So instead I should say more generous and the most